What's up, guys? This is the trade deadline episode.
Bringing you the recap from week 8. Some interesting stuff. I'd say we did pretty well in our predictions, though. Both of us going 12-4, splitting on our differences that we had for the week. Let you guys know what we missed, what we hit. So, starting off with this Miami-New England game. Miami got a dub in the sunny city of Miami. Nothing surprising there. If you know the trend, you know where to put the money on that. Mac Jones, not a solid game. This Kendrick Bourne towards ACL too. He was a bit of a darling the past 3 weeks, I'd say. Was looking real up. Like they finally realized when you have a good player, you should probably use that player. So Kendrick Bourne obviously can be dropped. It doesn't really take me to say that for you to understand that. We'll get through some waiver favorites of ours while we go through these games. So Mac Jones, not a terrible day, not a great day. Threw a pick, 2 touchdowns. I still don't see starting him as a viable option right now, although he does go against a very, very poor Commanders defense next week at home. Could be an option if you have one of your guys on bye. And then the rushing aspect here, guys, not much difference between Ramondre and Zeke right now. And if anything, Zeke on a per carry basis has actually been the more efficient back. So Ramondre owners, he's not getting the receiving work that we've all expected and we knew him to get last year. That is not there anymore. Or it's very volatile as it stands right now. So Ramondre, I'm out on him really as finishing where he was drafted near ADP. He's just not putting up the type of production or numbers or opportunities that we have come to expect. Things just aren't pretty there. So he's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. His juke rate's not great, 17%. He's just it's rough right now. Only one breakaway run the entire season. So even though I know they don't have a great offensive line, breakaway run, you still see talent able to make that happen. So I'm just not liking what I'm seeing from this offense right now. No one else notable in the receiving area. I know Demario Douglas is kind of a waiver wire pickup. I'm not huge on it, not totally against it. I guess if you would like to pick up someone, I'm not sure I would use my waiver on him, but he is kind of the last man standing in that receiving room. Has been getting some solid work, solid targets. He did lead the team in targets, so I'll leave it off with that. He's probably one of the top receiver waiver wires right now. So going over to Miami, guys, nothing we haven't seen before. Tua, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. Yet again, did throw a pick. Jalen Waddle resurgence. Finally got the game we wanted out of him. So been waiting for that a few weeks, guys. If you held Jalen Waddle, good on you. If you traded for him, good on you. 7 receptions, 121 yards, a touchdown, 12 targets, only 1 behind Tyreek. So, guys, if this can stand, if this can come to really be like this for the next, for the foreseeable future, that is great for Waddle owners, obviously, to see both him and Tyreek able to get things done. So Tyreek, on the other hand, 8 receptions, 112 yards, a touchdown, 13 targets. So it's kind of amazing his 112 yards actually brought his projection down. Like that's under his average, which is nuts right now. Obviously, if you're following football, you probably know he's on pace to break 2,000 yards, which is absolutely insane. Exactly what he said he was going to do. So good on Tyreek. Did Luke ask us this on the podcast about Miami's backfield?
Yeah.
So I guess we can say we kind of have it answered after this game. Clearly, Mostert, and you're a Mostert owner, so I mean, clearly he's the guy. If they're going to go to someone, he's clearly the guy. Still got almost triple the carries of the next closest guy in Jeff Wilson, who finished with 5. Mostert with 13, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Leads the league in rushing touchdowns this year. So he's been very effective. Did he have... He did not...
the touchdown.
Yeah, he did not have any targets this week. But that's going to come and go. I'm not too worried about that. Although Salvon Ahmed had 4. and he caught all 4 of them for 16. But Mostert's the guy to have in that backfield until Achane comes back, which is going to make things interesting. I still think Mostert's going to be a viable option. I don't see him being phased out with how successful and effective he has been. So that wraps that up.
Yeah, something to consider too with that is that Achane will be back at some point this season, and Jeff Wilson will get healthier.
We could see him get ramped up.
So
That's
you could see those touches go up a little bit, and then with the addition of Achane, it will be a little bit of a committee, I think. But I still think, as you said, Mostert has that number one rule, probably the most carries, but not the workhorse rule that he had when obviously Wilson was out.
So,
and Achane.
Would you recommend packaging Mostert and another player of a higher level to go get a real stud and let's say a flex type player?
So like T. Higgins or something, like Mostert and someone for Higgins, or
no? I'm saying like trade Mostert and like in your situation, trade like Mostert and Jonathan Taylor and go get, I don't know. I mean,
like ETN.
Yeah, go get ETN and then like a low range flex type of guy.
Yeah, I would if you could. I think that would be a good move.
Yeah.
Although Jonathan Taylor does have a lot of promise. I mean, he rushed for 100 yards and obviously got vultured, but he's hard to give up right now, to be honest. But yeah, I do like
something like that. So we both got that game right. That was pretty easy in my opinion. Moving to our next game, the Battle of the Apple.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Apples came out on top. I predicted the Green Apples. Carter predicted the Blue Apples. If you don't get what we're talking about by now, we're talking about the Jets and the Giants. Zach Wilson had a all right, not spectacular game by any means. Got it done when it mattered, but it's still really rough there in New York on both sides. I guess we can say it's just rough in New York in general. Although the Jets amazingly are 4-3.
Yep.
So Zach Wilson 240 and touchdown. He's not on the fantasy radar there. Breece Hall, not effective rushing. We can say that, but he obviously had the big touchdown reception. And he's getting a lot of targets. So he had 9 targets this game. We've seen him get peppered with targets throughout the season so far, especially with his workload being uncapped now. It's very, very good for fantasy, all fantasy purposes. So 6 for 76 and a touchdown, 9 targets, 12 carries, 17 yards. You can be very, very confident in Breece Hall. I think that goes without saying. And we got to give Garrett Wilson some love. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has been far more effective than what I think you and I both thought. He's a guy where it was for us, yeah, you still got to get him in the lineup, but it's just almost based off of name and talent that we expected to see.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's had. Rodgers obviously went out week 1, so he was good week 2. Solid week 3, finished with less than 10. 15 in week 4 against KC. 8 against Denver. Had 17 against Philly previous week 7, and now he just finished with 17. So he's been solid. I don't think you can complain at all with Garrett Wilson considering the circumstances, which is good to see.
Yeah.
So
he's a beast.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a great player. If Rodgers comes back either the end of this season or obviously, would look forward to next year.
Yeah.
That would be very good for his stock. So, good thing for the Jets. A few bright spots there. The Giants, we have the lone bright spot in Saquon Barkley right now. Managed 128 yards on 36 carries. That is insane. With a long of 34, 3 receptions for 0 yards. Obviously, the running joke right now is that the Giants finished with -9 yards. Some of you might wonder how that happens. For team totals, sack yards take away from passing yards, so that's how that happens. But Yeah. Really scary. Giants off, like scary in a bad way. Giants offense.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even.
I
With
don't.
Waller going out, I feel like that's the only chance they had at a passing game, and now
Yeah.
that's gone.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say.
They're terrible.
It's bad. So, and they just traded away Leonard Williams. They're one of their best defensive players. But yeah, guys. So that was a really ugly game. One I certainly was not watching. Jets came out on top though, 4-3, amazingly. So, kind of hanging around in there in the rankings.
I was watching a little bit of DeVito, and he's like on the first 2-3 drives, he did look like he had something to him, but it just didn't come out to anything, and I feel like there's nothing to him.
Yeah. Moving on to the Steel City, got Jacksonville coming in. Jacksonville came out with the W, moving to 6-2. It was not a pretty game though, either side, and I saw where a few calls are very, very questionable, whatever you want to say. But Trevor Lawrence, 292, a touchdown and a pick. Travis Etienne is doing what Travis Etienne does. He's got a great workload, getting receiving work, finding the end zone 4 straight weeks now. This receiving work is very. I feel like I've said this, every week now. But the receiving work is the one thing that you and I both really questioned coming into this season. We were both out on Etienne in terms of drafting him. Clearly wrong on us. He was a great value and is running back 2 as it stands right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, running back 2 in PPR formats with 163 points, 7 ahead of Mostert, and 37 behind McCaffrey, who's been insane. But ETN, as I said, monster game. Evan Ingram was my bust of the week at tight end and clearly proved me wrong. 10 receptions, 88 yards on 10 targets. So he's a guy, guys, I know that he's on bye this week, so you're going to have to figure something out. When he's good, like he would arguably be my favorite tight end to have in fantasy right now.
Over Kels.
Well, that kind of goes without saying.
Hawkinson?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, well, with the Kirk Cousins situation right now, yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, I didn't take that into account.
I mean, Hawkinson obviously has great usage. Like, I'm looking at it right now. I
Yeah.
mean, 2019, 11, 10 only had the one bust game and clearly has greater upside than Ingram does, no doubt about it. It's just the consistency in that tight end spot that you love. But yeah, I mean, pre-Kirk injury, Hawkinson, yes, I'd say Hawkinson and Kelsey, obviously, but Ingram's consistency is second to none. So
over Laporta and Mark Andrews.
I'd have him over Andrews probably. Laporta's solid. Obviously, I mean, I have him. He's tight end 3. Had a great week this past week, but it's just the consistency. That's all I'm trying to highlight. That's just because tight end's so frustrating. And I mean, Ingram, I mean, he hasn't had a single like really bad game except for Buffalo where he had 6. He's had 9, 11, 13, 12, 11, 9, 16. So like, it's just very very consistent.
You're pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Especially where you get him in the
Yeah,
draft.
you got him in like the 7th round, probably 7th,
Yeah.
8th round. But yeah, so he led the Jags in receiving. 10 targets, tied with Ridley for the lead. Ridley had a solid day, 6 for 83. Good to see life out of him. I feel like this isn't a situation where Ridley owners should be like, oh gosh, I got to go sell him now. Try to sell high on him with the value that he's recouped now. I'd hold on to him. I don't know what your take is on that. I'd probably hold on to him. I don't see any reason to scramble to sell him, unless someone like reaches out to you with an offer or something, or just see what you can get by all means. But I'm not in any rush to go sell him off of one good week. I still think he's had the targets. His conversion rate in terms of catches to targets has just not been good. I expect it to kind of flatten out in a good way. Christian Kirk was obviously the odd man out this week. It was just a weird game for between the Jags and Pittsburgh, though. That's what Pittsburgh tends to produce.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Kirk. I think he's going to be great season long. Obviously, he has been great season long. Kenny Pickett went out. He's projected to play Thursday night. In fact, said he is going to play, so That's good for the offense, I guess. However you want to look at it. Rushing game for Pittsburgh is non-existent. Jalen Warren and Najee still splitting carries. Najee Harris did have 5 receptions on 5 targets this week for 42 yards, so that was really good to see out of him. Deontay Johnson, 14 targets. He's absolutely, based off the 2 weeks, what we've seen him coming back, he's in your lineup.
Yeah.
Like he's undoubtedly in your lineup, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Great flex option, high volume type of guy. What we've known him to be his entire career. Like I said, he's in your lineup. Pickens with a disappointing game, saved it with the touchdown somewhat. Still finished with less than double-digit points, but I like Pickens. He did see 5 targets. Pittsburgh, yeah. So Pittsburgh plays Thursday night against Tennessee. I like Pickens and Johnson against Tennessee. We know that Tennessee secondary has just been poor all season, something we have continuously highlighted. I like both of them in that game. So yeah, guys, that was a game we both predicted correctly. A bit of an easier one. Jacksonville's 6-2 now, man. I mean, they're right up there with the cream of the crop. They can. I feel like they can win in multiple ways, which is always nice to have.
Yeah. That. Who did I say? We were talking about them last week. So they're like my.
I asked you if they were
like top
5
team or something.
Top four, yeah.
Yeah, top 4.
I was thinking about this again today, dude. There's it's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
It is wide open this year.
is.
Even with Philly being 7-1, they still have not absolutely dominated and put away teams.
Yeah, I think my Chargers can make a push. I think we have it
right now. Yeah.
3-4 right now, but as you just said, it's wide open.
It is.
Obviously, there's
really
KC.
Is. So the standings. Let's see where y'all are at. I mean, 3-4, but there's so many teams that are 4-3 right above y'all. Like, you got to think Pittsburgh doesn't stay 4-3. The Jets don't stay 4-3.
Yeah.
So 1, 2,
Cleveland
3,
could
4,
drop
5, 6, 7. Yeah. So, and I mean, as long as y'all win, obviously that has to happen. But
right.
Yeah, you'll have the Jets, Lions, Packers next 3. So obviously you should go 2-1 unless you sneak one out against the Lions. And then you play the Ravens. That's gonna be a tough one. Patriots, Broncos, Raiders, Bills, Broncos, KC. So I'd probably project for.
I mean, maybe
probably 3, 4 losses at most. So 9-8, 10-7.
Yeah, but in this current state that we're in, since he got off to a bad start, there's no locks right now. That's what I'm saying.
No, I agree. I mean,
other than KC, obviously.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and the Jets are all teams that could easily drop.
Yeah.
So I agree. You guys are in the mix, no doubt.
It is a little top heavy though, thinking about it, like just projecting out teams.
You got 4 teams at 6-2.
Yeah.
And Buffalo's not moving down.
Right.
So that's 5 spots right there.
Okay, so I'm thinking more of the NFC then.
Yeah. No, AFC's tough. I mean, you got 4 teams 6-2. Buffalo's 5-3. You got to think Cincy keeps moving up. They're hot with their dominant win over the Niners. So
okay,
that's 6
so
right.
I was thinking more about the NFC.
Yeah. So we're going to move right into Nashville, guys. Atlanta came in, did not come out with anything significant. Desmond Ridder out with concussion. Saw Heineke come in. Are we good?
Yeah.
Saw Heineke come in, deliver a touchdown pass. Scotty Miller. Bijan, first rushing touchdown of the season, guys. Yep. Good to see. Coming off game with the bubble guts. But he had 5 targets, was not able to haul any of them in. That's a trend that's not going to continue. I can assure you of that. They love using him out of that backfield. Kyle Pitts, a measly 3 for 35 on 5 targets. Did extremely outpace Jonnu Smith, which is great to see. Drake London, 5 for 55, led the team in targets. He's the alpha there. Came out with a groin injury on a really tough hit. Does play Minnesota next week, which should be favorable. Minnesota's not good against the pass, so probably looking to start him if you got buys, stuff like that. But yeah, Bijan is far more effective than Algier. We've seen that all season. Week 1 had us kind of in a, can this be a dual threat backfield? And Bijan is clearly the superior back. So
Yeah.
he's averaging well over 5 yards a carry. So Tennessee, Will Levis. I mean, talk about a debut, dude.
Talk about D-Hop.
Yeah. I mean, they play the Steelers, who have a poor passing defense. Is well.
No. No.
Hold on. Because we got to
Steelers are
consider.
still a solid defense.
Because you got Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff. Russell Wilson's not relevant, but you got those 3 quarterbacks on bye.
No. No.
All right, he told you. Derrick Henry, great day, 100 yards, 4 receptions, 21 yards, which obviously boosts his total fantasy wise. Taking the clear bulk was still a 44% split for Tajay, 56 for Derrick Henry, or it might have been 61%, I think. So they run a lot of shared backfield formations. So Tajay, guys, not able to take that leap right now. Clearly is a great back in Dynasty and one of the top handcuffs because he's a very effective back. DeAndre Hopkins, guys, monster week. Had that one touchdown there that easily could have been offensive pass interference, but if there's a guy that a rookie quarterback's can go to, that someone is DeAndre Hopkins. So great guy to have. Nothing else notable for either of these teams. 2 teams that just very mediocre. Nothing to brag about. So Carter got that one right. I got that one wrong. You win some, you lose some, guys.
I know what my Falcons are up to on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, I should have tracked with you there.
I see right through Arthur Smith.
Not many of us do. That's for sure. All right. Arguably the upset of the week.
Yeah. Definitely.
No. Well, Denver over
Okay,
KC.
yeah, no.
But outside of that, that doesn't exist for the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina with their first W of the year against Houston. Very disappointed in my Texans.
Same. I started CJ Stroud.
That's a game you gotta win, man. When you're an up and coming team, like that's a game you gotta win.
One thing I do want to say, because I want to toot my own horn real quick, because my fantasy team is doing terrible, so I gotta recoup my pride somehow. I did predict a CJ Stroud rushing touchdown. Go back and watch our last episode. I didn't project it.
He did.
And it happened. I was so happy that happened. So,
that's about all you predicted correctly.
yeah.
So
12-4.
Yeah, guys. Stroud, nothing to write home about in this one. Just not very productive through the air. Obviously, as Carter mentioned, touchdown on the ground. Dameon Pierce, dude. The curious case of Dameon Pierce.
Yeah.
Him and Singletary are almost identical in carries. Singletary got targets. Pierce didn't. Pierce is clearly one of the top busts of the year. Not effective at all this year. It's been really rough for him.
Yep.
Having to scroll to the next page to see where he ranks. Yeah.
He was like 30-something before this week.
He's 36. Has had 2 games over double digits. So, guys, just not pretty. Goes against Tampa Bay next week, which could be a little more favorable, but I'm not going to sit here and project Damien. We've had him on the sleeper. I mean, we said this week, like, this is the last week where we have him on the sleeper chart because I'm just not in there for him.
Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out on Dameon Pierce. Absolutely.
Fold the cards.
So, receiving area, guys, Nico Collins led the team in targets with 6. Wasn't very productive. Had a lot of air yards left out there. So, that's always good to see to an extent. Obviously, you want to see those converted into receptions and yards. But if there's something to take away from this, it is that Nico Collins is still the primary threat. 7.5 yards per catch is not something you're going to see very often from him. He's almost a lock for 20 yards a catch. Week in and week out, we've seen that. Noah Brown, I'm not going to say he's a waiver wire pickup by any means. Had a solid season with Dallas last year, but he's nothing to write home about. Tank Dell. Overall, this Houston offense just was not good this week. I'm expecting a bounce back from them. Next week, they go up against Tampa Bay. I just said that. Should be a fairly solid game. I think there's definitely opportunity for them to succeed in that. Not that I'm getting ahead on my pick or anything, because this is just a recap. This is just a recap.
Is that a sneak peek of your pick?
This is just a recap.
That might be our first split.
Guys, this is just a recap.
That could be our first
That's all
split.
I'm saying. It's just a recap.
CJ Stroud versus Baker Mayfield.
The highlight of the week.
Top 2 quarterbacks in the game. Head to head.
One of the top 2. And I ain't talking about CJ. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Don't get carried away there. Bryce Young.
Would you rather watch Burrow and Josh Allen or CJ Stroud?
Baker Mayfield and CJ Stroud, baby, all day.
Yeah, 100%.
Who cares about Josh Allen and Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Not me.
Bryce Young with the first win in his young career. Good things for the number 1 overall pick. I mean, what can you say? 235 yards, touchdown. Still not on the fantasy radar, in my opinion, guys. Not a strong enough offense. He's going against Indy next week. Indy's defense has allowed the most points in the league. So if there's ever been a favorable matchup to play someone like Bryce Young on a poor offense, it is next week against Indianapolis, guys. You heard me say it. Do what you will.
Dude, I was thinking about this earlier with Indy, which I guess we can talk about a little bit more, but I'll just say it now since it's brought up. They're such a weird team in my opinion because they give up the most points in the league, but you don't generally see that with teams that are super good at running the ball. Because you feel like they can control the clock, but they don't. I don't watch every single one of their games, so maybe it's just like they give up a bunch of explosive plays or something like that.
They're just like overall explosive. Like their offense is explosive and their defense is explosive in a bad way.
Yeah. Like maybe their rushes just all go for like 15, 20 yards. It does seem like that happens a lot for them.
Yeah. So,
kind of a conundrum.
It is.
Anomaly.
They've allowed the most points in the league. Saw that today. So guys, Chuba Hubbard has taken over this backfield. Miles Sanders is in the doghouse, irrelevant, arguably droppable. The only reason you're not dropping him is because of his name at this point. He's been very ineffective. Not even being used now. Had less carries than Raheem Blackshear. So that says
something.
Yeah, and he didn't have a target either. So Sanders was a bit of a preseason darling for me. I thought he'd be great return. I don't happen to have any shares of him. It's not pretty there. So Miles Sanders, in my opinion, droppable. If not, he's just going to be sitting on your bench trying to recoup value. So that's where that is. Adam Thielen continues his rampage. Clearly the alpha there. He is on a rampage, bro. He's going nuts. Jonathan Mingo has life. Your boy.
Yep.
Has life.
Yes,
4 for 62 this week. With a long of 40 yards, so did most of his damage on the one catch. But good to see him. I mean, I like to see that. Maybe he's one of those rookies that can come around near the end of the year, getting more acclimated to the NFL playbook, that sort of thing. I like just highlighting rookies because we see it year in and year out. At the end of the year, rookies are the people that are going to carry your team.
Yeah.
Obviously, your stars, but you like to see them fill in. So, yeah, that wraps up that. Carter and I both got Houston wrong. Very disappointed in them losing that one.
I'm not. I would pick them again and again and again.
I would.
I'd make that pick 1,000 times.
I don't understand how they lose that. Very poor. Moving to a blowout in the Big D.
Yep.
The Rams came in and didn't do much anything.
Telling me.
Matt Stafford is droppable in my opinion, especially with the injury going on right now. He has not proved a single thing this year. Very disappointing in my eyes.
It's been enough games to where he's proved.
I mean, I think we've said it for the past 4 weeks. Like, this is the week.
Yeah.
Like, it's not happening. So
it's never going to be the week.
Yeah. So Stafford, have to keep an eye on his health throughout this week. Monday's a little too early to tell. It is Tuesday, actually. So, but still, just keep an eye on it, especially if you're a Puka or a Cup owner. So, the backfield here. Freeman got 9 carries. Henderson got 12. Freeman was far more effective as he was last week. Henderson just happened to get a lot more work last week, but Freeman also got the touchdown.
Yep.
So it's very interesting. Although Henderson did see 3 for 54 through the air, I'd probably rather have Freeman at this point because we know McVay to be a hot hand type of guy. That's the type of approach he takes.
Yep.
So, not that I'm completely out on Henderson, just because I mentioned this when Kyron first went down, is Henderson has so much familiarity in the system with McVay, coaching staff, so on and so forth. But I think Freeman is going to be the guy moving forward. They do play Green Bay, who is pretty bad against the run. So, I mean, that's that.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough to predict though on a week to week basis. It's almost like who does get the touchdown.
He'll be in some lineups.
Yeah, you will. So receiving guys, nothing big. A lot of disappointing lines.
Yeah.
Like all across the board. Cup 4 for 21, Nakua 3 for 43. I guess Higbee 5 for 45. You can be happy about that if you started him. 2 for 21. So it was not pretty.
It was exactly what we thought, dude. Dallas just got to Stafford.
Yeah.
Like there was no remorse.
Yeah.
And I stopped watching when Stafford was out. So.
Facts.
Whoever
So
came in after him.
Dak had a near perfect game outside of the pick, which was a really awful throw. But yeah, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, monster game from Dak. Love to see it. 19 yards on the ground. Tony Pollard, dude. What is your take on Tony Pollard right now? Because I'm confused. He was the type of guy where preseason everyone was sitting there saying, oh, getting Tony Pollard late in the first round, early second is the absolute steal. Like he's the home run hitter. He's a league winner type of deal, and he clearly has not been that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like what's your view on selling, buying?
I'd sell or I'd buy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'd buy Tony Pollard. It's just he's used in a different way this year.
Very different.
He's kind of running between the tackles a lot, and I feel like they're not skimming him up in space as much as you'd like, because we saw against the Chargers when they skimmed him up in space, he had I think his 40-yard catch or whatever. It
was like 60 yards.
60 yards. I forget if that was a screen or not. I don't think it was.
Dak was rolling right and threw across his body to Pollard on an angle type route.
Right. Yeah.
It was like a broken down play pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, the receiving work he gets keeps him obviously in the RB1 conversation. I try to buy for him.
He also hasn't had a touchdown since week 1 where he had 2. So
you
got to know that comes back.
Right.
Upcoming schedule, Philly, which is not inviting, but then he has the Giants, Carolina, Washington, Seattle. The next 4 after that, and then Philly is tough. Buffalo is very favorable against running back. Miami's very favorable. Championship week though, he does have Detroit. Tough one, but if that happens to be a high scoring matchup, then would be favorable. But it's odd to me because in this news blurb right here on NFL Fantasy, it's left out of offensive outburst, and that's just concerning. He had 13 touches. It's really weird. It's just really weird.
I think one of the strengths of the Rams defense is their interior defensive line. So, I mean, it's understandable,
right,
to say.
Just I mean, I'd say buy him because if you can get him at a discounted price right now, and people are probably really frustrated with it.
Yeah.
He's only had 4 good weeks, 4 double-digit weeks this year. Coming in at RB16 right now. So, moving on though, CeeDee Lamb, an absolute monster week. I love to see it. CeeDee's one of my favorite receivers. He's just an absolute beast. He was wide receiver 1 this week, 41 points, absolutely absurd. Hopefully they finally figure out that they have this guy on their squad, because there's weeks where he just doesn't get the work, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So great stuff out of him. Did it in every facet with the not double digit touchdowns.
Of course,
2 touchdowns.
He was making me so mad this weekend.
Why? Who?
Playing him. CD.
Oh.
He's literally the difference between me being close and whatever. He pooped on me.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks with yet another touchdown. Brandon Cooks, guys, a bit of a curious case to me, because this is how I'm breaking it down. Like, his 2 relevant games have been with touchdowns, and Dak had to throw 31 times and complete 25 of them. Not that 31 is a high attempt, but to have to complete 25 of them, and he still only had 4 targets. So it's not like he had. I mean, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players with targets. So it's not like it was a funnel to, Lamb, Cooks, Ferguson, Gallup. It was just spread. I mean, no one got more than 4 targets besides CD. So I'm just not high on looking at starting Cooks right now.
Yeah, no, neither am I.
A guy that I don't know I forget how you felt, but I was pretty high on him compared to ADP. I thought he would certainly outperform his position.
I don't think I drafted him personally.
Jake Ferguson bounce back game. That was good, because didn't you say that was the one weak point of the Rams defense was tight end?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was your sleeper, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because I remember you highlighting that. So yeah, Jake Ferguson, guys, big bounce back week from him. 447 in the touchdown, so good stuff from him. I like Ferguson moving forward. I mean, he's one of the more reliable tight end options in a good offense. That's really what you look for at the tight end position. Dallas has. Just Dallas.
No, it's Hunter Henry.
Okay.
Dang it. So I know I did say that when it was Dallas Goedert and he went off.
Yeah. So Dallas goes against Philly next week, guys. That's going to be an interesting one. Big tell for this division, this conference. Dallas is 5-2, Philly's 7-1. So Philly would still be ahead with a loss, but could really shake up the outcome near the end of the season if they finish with the same record, sort of deal. Carter and I both got that one right. Next game, a sore subject for one of the fan bases. Well, both of these fan bases are kind of going through it right now, but the Vikings guys went into Lambeau, got the W. Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles. Hate to see it.
Yeah.
Was having a great game in this one too. A classic Kirk stat line, 274, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Was QB4 coming into the week. Was having a heck of a season. Obviously out for the year now. They did trade for Joshua Dobbs from Arizona. Should keep things afloat. Obviously, you're not replicating what it's been doing. So if you're an Addison owner, a Hawkinson owner, even an Osborne owner, it's going to be a little rough here on out. Now, I will say with Kevin O'Connell at the helm, that's one guy you don't want to doubt on scheming things up for a quarterback for his players to get the ball. It's obviously one of the most explosive offenses, and by no means is that not a product of Kirk. Kirk Cousins is certainly essential in facilitating that, but not totally out on those guys. It's going to be inconsistent. It's going to be rough a few games.
I feel like Ashton will still be able. I mean, I think, yeah, what you said is basically what I was just going to say, so I just won't even say it. But it won't be to the caliber, but he's still definitely viable week to week.
Yeah.
Because we saw, Marquise Brown's been fine.
Yeah, that's a point I was going to say, too, is exactly that. I mean, something we've kind of mentioned over the weeks is that the Arizona players have been somewhat feasible, So, I mean, even with, Trey McBride this past week had 10 for, I think it was 99 yards and a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So he had a monster week. He's obviously, we'll get to it in a second here. He's obviously the top tight end waiver wire pickup right now. outside of Dalton Kincaid if he's still available. But yeah, guys. So Osborne led the team in all receiving categories besides the touchdown, but targets, receptions, yardage. So good things from KJ. Hawkinson had another monster game. Addison a monster game. I like all three of them right now. Moving forward, everything I just said applies. So what's your take on this running back situation between Madison?
McBride or Taysom Hill?
I have a waiver in for both also. So I mean, because I got Laporta on bye.
Hill has such good matchups.
I mean, I'm just not looking. You're looking for long term. I'm not. If I was looking for long term personally, I'd probably go with Trey McBride, especially with Murray coming back soon. Well, what's your opinion on Madison and Akers?
What was the split?
16-9 in favor of Madison. Both averaged about 2 yards a carry, but Akers got the touchdown. Akers and Madison both 1 target, 1 reception.
I mean, me personally, I think Akers is better, but they're not going to throw Madison to the side at this point. I think Akers is the better goal line. Akers is the better goal line back. I'll just say that straight up. So I think, with Madison, you're probably hoping for more receptions and something outside the red zone, but I really do think that Akers has the more upside. As far as playing any of them, if you have to, I'd just go Akers because of the touchdown upside, but I'm not excited to play either of them.
Agreed. Totally agree. So, yeah, guys, I'm not looking to play either of them. Not looking to go buy either of them. Probably not able to sell either of them,
Nope.
except if it's a needy team. Both got that one right. We were worried about that Lambeau mystique, but it did not prevail this time.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about Green Bay,
bro.
but yeah, Green Bay's in real dysfunction right now. Love does not look good whatsoever. The running game's non-existent. I mean, I don't even know. Dobbs, 4 receptions, 18 yards, saved his day with a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's the leading receiver there. Jaden Reed seems to be the more explosive guy. Watts, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say, really.
We called Watson.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
Um.
We said to stay away.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we did say pick Dobbs. Dobbs was one of our probably our favorite deep sleeper. So definitely got to highlight that.
Yep.
But gosh, I don't even know how to analyze this situation right now. If I'm not starting anyone with the Green Bay next to him, in all honesty. They play the Rams next week.
Even Aaron Jones. To me, he's the one way they function.
He is, but they don't use Matt LaFleur is getting exposed right now, in my opinion. They don't use him like they're supposed to, like they should be used, or like he should be used. And I know they have a young core, but bro, you have 3 good receivers in Reed, Watson, and Dobbs, and then you have Musgrave at tight end with Dillon and Jones in the backfield. It shouldn't be as ugly as it is.
It is weird because I've said that too, about the wide receivers. But on the same note, I was thinking about this because I was just thinking about last year. Last year we were saying that Rodgers didn't have the talent. And now, I say the same thing, so I'm not, calling anyone out there. And a lot of people are saying the same thing, but, it's hard to gauge how good these receivers actually are. Does he actually have talent around him?
Right.
Because part of the excuse for Rodgers not having a good season was there's no talent. And now it's these players should be better, second year. We did expect them to be better, but I don't know if there's, real talent around.
I think there is. I just think it's just very dysfunctional.
It's just hard, yeah.
I think it's coaching, honestly. I really do. I don't think there's any excuse to why this offense isn't. I'm not saying they
shouldn't be as bad.
I'm not saying by any means it should be a top 15 offense or something, but damn, I mean, it should at least be top 20,
Yeah.
Middle of the pack somewhere in there, making noise at least.
I agree.
There's no excuse to put up 10 points at home.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, guys. As you can tell, we're just not excited about Green Bay right now, where they stand, that situation, any of those players really. So New Orleans came into Indiana. Carter, you got this one right.
Yep.
My Indianapolis bias seeked in. I don't know why, because I like New Orleans too. But anyways, Derek Carr, a very solid game. So as an Olave owner, did you see the one bounce off his helmet?
Yeah. No, but I've heard about it. I'll have to watch the video.
Bro, he ran like a quick stop and then like one of those like stop and then fade to the end. Like, bro, no, like if he caught it, he could have like walked into the end zone. And it came and like I don't know, I guess he didn't see the ball and it hit right off his helmet.
Dude, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, no, you're right. Look up, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So guys, Derek Carr, great game. Really looking forward to streaming him against Chicago this upcoming week. But 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's recouped this offense a bit. I feel like now, as we did highlight earlier, Indianapolis defense is not good. Technically the worst in the league when it comes to points allowed. So you got to take that into account. Taysom Hill, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Kamara 1. Taysom 9 carries. Also had a reception and a pass. He's one of the top tight end streamers of the week, or waiver wire pickups.
Oh my gosh. That is ridiculous.
So he just watched it, guys, if you can't tell. I was like, yo, no way.
Something's up with Olave, bro.
Dude.
I do not feel good having it on my
Dude.
team. I want him off.
Anyways, guys. So Kamara led the team in rushes. Was not super effective. 3.5 yards. Did have the 16-yard touchdown. Also had 4 for 51 and a touchdown through the air. Had 5 targets there. Not the 14, 15, 20 we've been used to on a per-game basis, but Kamara, guys, is getting it done in all facets of the game right now. Love having him on my team. The guy I want to highlight, Rashid Shaheed, baby. It was a Shaheed week. 3 receptions, 153 yards, and a touchdown on 3 targets. In classic Shaheed fashion, baby. I like Shaheed. I think he is a start next. I'm going on a limb here. I'm saying Shaheed is a start next week against Chicago. I'm kind of enticed to play him. I do have Derek Carr, and I had Justin Fields as my quarterback. Have been streaming Derek Carr for the past 2 weeks. Been somewhat pleased, and I think Shaheed is a guy that you can start against a very poor Bears defense. And I think you start all these receivers. So Michael Thomas, 4 for 68, 7 targets, was second on the team in targets to Olave, who had 5 for 46. Clearly, as Carter and I just highlighted, the missed touchdown opportunity. So Olave has been down, not doing what I mean. We expected a absolute breakout this year for Olave.
Yeah.
Like, and it has been anything. Now the first 3 games were.
I was so hyped.
I mean,
I was ecstatic. He was eclipsing 100 yards like it was nothing.
Yeah, 8 for 112, 6 for 86, 8 for 104, and then against the Bucks is when it started. 1 for 4, 2 for 12. He had 7 for 96 against Houston, 7 for 57 against Jacksonville. 5. I mean, he's still getting an insane amount of targets. He's averaging almost 10 targets a game, so that's always a plus. But just got to keep an eye on things there, guys. Olave would be a bit of a buy low, maybe, if you're talking with a frustrated Chris Olave owner.
Yeah, you can get him low from me right now.
Something I might have to think about. Anyways, so all 3 of those receivers did fairly well. Kamara obviously got the touchdown. Shaheed touchdown. I like Shaheed next week against the Bears, as I just said. Moving to the Colts, Gardner Minshew, not a huge game. 2 touchdowns, interception, 213 yards. I want to highlight a receiver real quick. Michael Pittman has been really good this year. I'm just really confused with how they're using him. Because, like, his depth of target and his yards per catch are, I mean, objectively just low. Like, really, really. He had 8 receptions for 40 yards. And he's clearly the number one because he had 13 targets. But I'm just not understanding how they're using him. Because, I mean, the guy's, what, 6'3", 6'4", 220.
Mm-hmm.
And you're using him like a,
He looks super skinny.
I mean, he is, but I don't know. I feel like he should be being used in a totally
as a
different
more
way.
deep target.
Yeah.
They're just playing like a straight possession, I guess. I don't know. Because they have downs, so it is weird.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Downs, yet another great game. 14 yards. 14 points on 72 yards, guys. Second on the team in targets, which is what we like to see. Pittman got the touchdown, so that's good for him. So all owners are happy there in the receiving game. Jonathan Taylor, 12 for 95, got vultured, as Carter knows better than most, by Zach Moss, who had yet another effective game on the ground. So they split carries evenly. Taylor slightly more effective. Taylor also had a reception, as did Zach Moss. Taylor saw 2 targets to Zach Moss's 1. So Taylor is coming on the up right now. Had the 42-yard scamper, which is really good to see. Breakaway ability. Nothing has changed in his ability. As we can see, it's just a matter of when he's going to really take over that lion's share. I don't know how soon it's going to happen, though. I mean, because Zach Moss being effective, they're not going to move away from him, clearly.
Yeah, this might be like kind of the split you see moving forward, honestly.
Go against Carolina next week, who has had a poor rush defense, so could be favorable for both of those backs. I think you keep playing them as long, I think you keep playing them both. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I mean, Zach Moss had a solid time while Taylor's been back. I don't see any reason not, especially the state of fantasy running backs, bro. Like, I mean, fantasy running back right now is awful.
It's terrible.
Like Brian Robinson is RB13, and he's been trash. Like, I'll say it myself. Like, he's been awful. I mean, his last since his first 2 weeks, he's had 7, 13, 8, 13, 8, 9. And he's RB13.
Yep.
He's had 2 games with 13 in single digits otherwise through 7 games or through 6 games. Like that's trash.
Yeah.
And he's
I mean,
the
put
best
it that
RB2, you know?
When you put it that way, I guess. Yeah.
Zach Moss is still RB4. Like, he's had since Taylor came back. Taylor came back against Jacksonville? Or against Tennessee. He came back against Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zach Moss had 33, 17, 7, and 14. I don't see any reason not to be playing him.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Shoot.
I mean,
Taylor is the better back, in my opinion. Probably will be the better
obviously.
fantasy running back headed forward, but, I mean, Moss did do better than him last week.
Well, just because of touchdown.
Or because I have Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
It's like,
whoever this guy has, you don't want to.
yeah, guys, if I drop Stafford,
bad
just know
luck.
he's going to go off
Yep, just
4
pick him up.
touchdowns.
So, okay, guys.
Fantasy's depressing.
Do we have to talk about this one? The Eagles absolutely dominated the Commanders. They're no longer my Commanders because I formally resign as a Commanders fan for the happenings that took place on October 31st, 3 p.m.
Trade away your future.
Trade away your future to trade for picks that you always fail at hitting on. But that's all right, guys. We'll just talk about this one.
No, they hit on Chase Young. Remember?
And Montez Sweat. We'll get to that in a second. Let's just highlight the Eagles. Jalen Hurts.
He's going to draft every single quarterback.
Idiots, bro. Idiots. We're absolute idiots. I just got to say that. So, Jalen Hurts, guys, I was looking at his stats today in fantasy. The guy's gone nuclear.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's going nuts right now.
Yep.
Like, he's had 275 or more yards in every game since week 3, which is insane.
A.J. Brown's a big part of that.
Yes, absolutely. And multiple touchdowns in every game besides week 1. So, Jalen Hurts, guys, doing great. I love to see it. I like the guy. I don't care. I'm not a Washington fan anymore, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want.
You're a free agent.
I'm a free agent. I can do whatever I want. I can applaud whoever I want to applaud. I can tear down whoever I want to tear down.
I'd like to see you become like a Chiefs fan.
Never be a Chiefs fan. DeAndre Swift, one of my favorite fantasy options at running back right now. Just the floor. Like I don't even know how to explain it. Like just the consistency. He's running back 5 and really hasn't had an insane game since his breakout game. Like he's had 14, 17, 16, 17, 10, 14. But like you can't complain with that.
Right.
Obviously you'd like to see a little higher of a floor. But he's put up double digits in every single game except his first game. So I don't think you can really complain with that. 16 for 57 and a touchdown, and had 2 receptions on 3 targets. So he's getting the solid workload. I like to see it. I don't think you can really complain with it, especially considering where you probably drafted him in the 6th or 7th round. AJ Brown. We can highlight AJ Brown and Devontae Smith at the same time here, dude. Monsters, animals. I told y'all Devontae Smith was a start because the last game he had was against the Commanders, and he did it again. So he made me look good this week. Shout out to Devontae. Him and AJ Brown both 100% on their opportunities, 8 and 7 respectively. AJ Brown with 8. AJ Brown clearly with extremely dominant day with 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Devontae with 99 and a touchdown. So like to see both of them going. It was at the expense of Dallas Goedert with 4 for 36. Did still see 7 targets. Don't fall out on Goddard. If anything, this just means you're more primed to play him next week against Dallas.
I'll be right back.
All right. Julio Jones got in the mix, guys. 2 targets. 2 targets. Solid touchdown. Eagles did the Commanders very, very dirty. Come back.
Yeah. I'm putting out this trade real quick.
Putting out a trade, boys, and let us know what it is when he comes back. Sam Howell threw the ball 52 times, 397 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was QB1 this week. I forget if I recommended start him or not. I feel like I didn't. So sorry about that, guys, but probably should have because this Eagles. I keep thinking this Philly passing defense is going to come around at some point. It just hasn't. Now they didn't get to the quarterback at all in this one. Only 1 sack on the day, which is surprising because our offensive line has not been good. But Sam Howell with a monster day, a receiving touchdown to 4 different receivers. Jahan Dotson with a breakout performance, what we've all been waiting for. 10 targets, 8 receptions, 108 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know where that's been. Apparently they just figured out that we have him. But he's also made some mistakes, so it goes both ways. But I would be wary of starting him next week. Maybe not. We see New England. New England obviously hasn't been great, but just keep an eye out, guys. Buys, injuries, you know how it goes. Jamison Crowder, good throwback for when I was a fan, obviously. I don't know that he's really a waiver wire pickup. I'm not going to go that far. Terry, solid game. Still would like to see him with larger outputs, but like what he's put up nonetheless. Been pretty consistent over the last few weeks, so can't really complain there. 14, 15, 17 goes against New England. Seattle, Giants the next 3 weeks. Very inviting. So I like that out of him. Logan Thomas continues to be one of the top tight ends. Tight end streaming options, certainly. I'm sure he's rostered in your league. He should be. If he's not, I would say he's definitely an ad. Tight end 10 right now. I've seen 3 touchdowns on the season, so like to see that out of him. Brian Robinson, guys, tough sledding against a good Philly run defense. What'd you put out?
I didn't.
No?
I was gonna counter JT and Cup for Adams and Montgomery with Cup and Mostert for Adams and Montgomery, but dude, like my team is good enough, dude.
I think
I'm going down with the ship.
I really think you have to stick it out.
I'm going down with the ship. Like we are going down quick, and I'm going down with it. It was the long plan the whole time, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Going down with the ship.
All right, guys. So that wraps up everything about Philly and Washington. And I'll say it again. I am officially resigned as a fan. I don't know how you trade away your top arguably your top 2 defensive players, the only strength on your defense right now. You trade the one guy that's 3 years older than the other guy for a second-round pick, and you get a third-round pick for the younger edge rush. Like, they're both on expiring contracts. I understand this, guys. I
could get better for Chase Young.
There's no way Chase Young is equivalent to a third-round pick. Like, that's just...
It's ridiculous.
Stupidity.
And you're trading him to the 49ers, too. Like, come on.
Stupidity, bro. All right. Moving to Seattle.
Wait, so, like, next time the Commanders play, are you, like, genuinely, like, you just don't care?
Emotions detached.
That's wild. I mean, I've felt that way about the Chargers multiple times.
No, this is unacceptable. Ron Rivera is still my head coach.
That's true.
That guy sucks. That guy's clueless.
He might be worse than Staley. Maybe. Probably not. I don't know. They're both terrible.
He's useless. Like, he's literally useless.
Rivera's
Like, I don't think Rivera does anything. Like, I actually don't. Like, he doesn't even make decisions. Useless, bro. He's useless. He just stands there on the sideline with a finger up his butt.
He always looks clueless.
Anyways, my emotions are tied. I don't know why I'm getting frustrated.
That's wild, dude. I wonder who you're going to be a fan of, bro. This is like a new development.
This is a new development. Guys, I've been a Washington fan 23, 17 years of my life.
You could be a Bills fan.
No, I don't like Josh Allen.
The world is your oyster, bro. Like, there's so many teams that are fun. Like, Colts?
Like the Lions.
I'd go Colts now, bro, because they're going to have Anthony Richardson next year.
AR-15. All right.
Lions, that's just bandwagon.
I'm a Jahmyr Gibbs Laporta fan.
I think now could be a time to hop on the Jaguars train. There's been way too much hype about the Lions this year. Like, everyone's raving the Lions.
All right. Whatever, man.
You gotta love the flow, bro. Just go with the flow. Go with Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, go with Sam Laporta. To the moon.
Fair.
All right. Cleveland came into Seattle, gave Seattle a run for their money. P.J. Walker, not great, though. Kareem Hunt, I told you guys, he is the guy. We told you to start him. Got his touchdown. I've been saying this. Pierre Strong saved his day with the 41-yard catch. I'm out on Pierre Strong. Or not. Why am I talking about Pierre Strong? I'm out on Jerome Ford.
Okay.
I feel like an idiot now. I'm out on Jerome Ford, guys. Everything I said about Pierre Strong, take it back.
I'm going to short that. I'm out on Pierre Strong.
Big revelation. But yeah, guys, Jerome Ford, we've been kind of warning you the past 2, maybe 3 weeks. He's just not like, I don't want to oversay this. He's just not like a quality running back. Like, he's just not. And then we've said this the past 2-3 weeks. He's a breakaway guy. That's just what he is. You know, he'll get one breakaway run. The rest of the runs are just, 4-3, 4-3, that sort of thing. He's not seeing the targets either now, so he only had 2. And then, Pierre Strong had 1 as well as Kareem Hunt. So you're seeing a real mix there in the backfield, guys. That's not encouraging for Ford's workload moving forward.
Yep.
Oh, you see what I did there? Moving forward.
Forward.
Amari Cooper, though. Solid day.
Yeah.
6 for 89, 11 targets. Clearly the number one guy there. We have seen a bit of a Njoku resurgence.
Yes.
Love it.
Yep.
That's what we've been waiting for. 8 targets, 4 for 77, and the touchdown, baby.
And next week he goes for 6 points.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys get the idea. You see where it is. But yeah, I mean, I think he kind of got a roll with Cooper. He's kind of shown he can get it done with P.J. Walker, or I guess P.J. Walker can get it done. But yeah, I like him and I like Kareem Hunt. So those are only 2 guys I'm really looking at. On the Seahawks side of things, Geno Smith. Solid day, 2 picks, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nothing to rave about.
Yeah.
Certainly not
Very
complaining,
clutch.
I guess. Yeah.
Clutch
yeah.
day for him.
Kenneth Walker. What were you going to say?
I was going to say Tyler Lockett, but I forget. It's running. We can do running.
No, we can start with that.
Okay.
Mr. Lockett, owner.
Finally eclipsed 80 yards for the second time this year.
8 receptions, 81 yards, and he found pay dirt, baby.
Yeah.
You started him?
Nope.
That's all right.
I started Mr. 6 points cut, Mr. 9 points Olave,
And your 3
and
running backs.
Mostert for 10
10
points with a touchdown. It's all right, guys. I've been depressing this podcast, but my team is in dire need of some hope.
You're looking at number 1 in the league, baby.
I'm done talking about my team. Sorry.
All right.
This isn't my podcast.
Tyler Lockett had a great game though. DK's very curious case of DK Metcalf. 14 targets, 5 receptions, 67 yards. Do a deep dive here real quick.
I mean, there's a really good defense in the Browns.
It is. It
So
is.
The conversion doesn't hurt, or it's not that bad. But didn't Denzel Ward went down, didn't he?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he went down with a hamstring.
Denzelius?
Yeah. Almost positive.
Not Denzelius.
Was it not Denzel Ward?
I'm not seeing anything.
Who was it? There's a big cornerback that went down.
Martin Emerson? Greg Newt?
No.
What, in that game?
I guess not.
Anyways, so DK guys, it's been a little frustrating, no doubt about it. Obviously missed the game against Arizona, but he's had double digits every single game, and he's seen the targets. He's always going to be in there for touchdown ability. He's not a guy you're going to sell. I don't mind him being a buy low.
Minka went down.
Minka, okay. So I don't mind buying low on DK, especially with a lot of hype around Jackson Smith. He kind of saved his day with a touchdown, though. He only had 4 targets. Guys, DK tripled the target share of Smith and Jigba, and Lockett doubled it. So it's not like Smith and Jigba is just getting this crazy work now all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
He just happened to get in the touchdown, which obviously counts. You can't take that away from him, but DK with 14 and only 5 receptions, that's not just going to continue to happen. So, I mean, to just break down DK a little bit, he's averaging 2.14 yards per route. Ran the threshold we look at is 2. He's 3 for 7 on contested catches, which is good. Versus I want to see his red zone usage. I know it's pretty good. Where's Metcalf? Maybe it's not. I thought he had more than that. So he's tied for 20th with 7. But he goes 7, 8, 9, and then there's a few guys that are head and shoulders above the rest. But, I mean, DK's going to get those targets. He also has 4 red zone targets, which is really good to see. Or end zone targets, excuse me. But Lockett has 8 and 7 respectively himself. So I like both of those guys moving forward. I'm not going to be scared of JSN if I'm a Lockett or a DK owner. So that's just how I feel about it. But I think Smith and Jigba is a guy that you can look at as an owner of him if you are, and feel a little more confident. I'm not going to say he's a start week in, week out. Definitely would not go that far, especially playing against a good Baltimore defense this next upcoming week. But this rushing game, very interesting.
Would you sell high on JSN right now? Would you try to sell him?
I mean, I'm not going to. I'm assuming you're not really going to be able to sell him for like a loan, you know? I don't think anyone.
Would you go after Adams right now and try to get
So trade JSN and another piece for Adams?
Yeah, a good running back.
Yeah, probably. Trade JSN and another piece of your team to go get someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, because I think he holds great value right now. But also, as I've said before, highlighting rookies. We see rookies coming out the end, but as long as one of those 2 guys aren't hurt, then I don't really see JSN's path to consistent fantasy relevance. So, yeah, I do like the idea of packaging him in a trade for someone that might be thin on the bench or at flex. or if someone's having a bye apocalypse. I know we got a lot of big fantasy options on bye with Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Amon Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Ridley, Kirk, Ingram, Etienne. A lot of big names out there that are on bye this week. So certainly would be the week to do something with him if you do want to ship him. But I'd probably just hold him right now.
Okay.
Unless you can make a big trade. Obviously, studs are always going to be. We say it all the time. Studs are always going to be worth more than your third or fourth guy on your bench. So this game, Baltimore Arizona did not go how we thought it would, or at least how I thought. I thought it was going to be a stampede from the Ravens.
Arizona is a tough team, man.
They are best 1-17, 1-7 team we've ever seen.
Did you see the Marquise Brown touchdown?
I did not.
Dude,
wasn't insane.
You should watch it. The throw from Joshua Dobbs is majestic.
So we'll start with the Cardinals here, guys. Josh Dobbs 2-2 in terms of touchdown interceptions, 208 yards, 26 yards of touchdown. So very fantasy viable this week against the Ravens. Not something I did not predict it at all. DeMarcado 20 carries, clearly the number one running back there. Josh Dobbs is in the Vikings now, so do you think with the questions of Dobbs being fantasy viable, going to Minnesota, does that get more favorable? Like, is Dobbs a streaming option?
I definitely like his. I definitely like him in Minnesota season long better than what he was at the Cardinals. So yeah.
Because you got to think, especially this week. Like I was just highlighting, you got Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff on bye. You got guys like Justin Fields still hurt, Stafford hurt. So he's not going to play this week. That's already been said, but I think that's something to keep an eye on. But Trey McBride, guys, he's going to be the number one waiver wire pickup. With Ertz on bye, someone I highlighted a few weeks ago, last week I believe, or whenever it was that Ertz went on IR. 14 targets, 10 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. It'll be interesting. I wouldn't play him this week. I'd probably wait for Murray to come back, but also with a rookie quarterback, young tight end, athletic tight end, makes himself available, is always going to be a young quarterback's friend. So not totally out on McBride this week, but I would certainly look to be able to keep him on the bench until next week. Or until the following weeks with Kyler Murray in there versus Tune. I forget. Forgive me. I forget his first name.
Who?
Who Arizona's starting at quarterback. His last name's Tune. He's a rookie.
Okay.
I forget where he's from, but yeah. So Marquise Brown 6 for 33, 9 targets and a touchdown. Keeps getting it done, even when situation's not favorable. So big shout out to Marquise this year. He's a guy that we've highlighted a few times on here.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, watch this. This throw by Dobbs is insane. Like, look how...
Put it in full.
Yeah.
Oh. That's fine.
Dude, like, look how early and... He threw that across the field.
Put it right over that one defender, right in the breadbasket. Wow.
Like, he threw that, like, I feel like almost half a second earlier than, like, most quarterbacks do throw it.
That was a pretty ball. Good catch, too.
Yeah, so he's a must start in Minnesota. Drop Mahomes. Pick up Dobbs.
You saw the thumbnail. You saw it. Lamar, this game did not go any way I thought it would. Lamar was I don't want to say terrible, but just not good this week. 18 for 27, 157, a touchdown. Only 5 carries for 17 yards, so not anything big from him fantasy wise. Gus Edwards though, dude, getting it done, man. The last 2 weeks, finding his stride. 19 carries, 80 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 receptions for 14. I love to see Gus Bus in motion. That bus is running right now, and I think both you and I are getting on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mark Andrews. The Mandrews.
Andrews the Mandrews, yep.
Andrews the Mandrews.
He plays like a grown man out there.
Yeah, the guy's a monster. I don't think there's any much more to say. We've been saying the same thing for about 4 years now. Zay Flowers, very disappointing, guys. Just as I declare him, he should be in your lineup. By all means, he puts up a stinker against Arizona. I don't get it. But Baltimore plays Seattle. So, not a great matchup, not a bad matchup. Playing at home. I want to say you keep Zay Flowers in there. I like Zay Flowers. That's my guy this year. You got to roll with it. So, Ravens came out on top there. We both got that one right. So, moving on. Moving to the upset of the week. Denver holding KC to single digits. Who would have guessed? Not us, that's for sure.
Yep.
Holding KC to single digits. Holding Mahomes to no touchdowns, 2 picks. Not a good day for this Chiefs offense as a whole. Pacheco only 8 for 40. He had 3 receptions for -3 yards somehow. This receiving... So, one thing I will say that I'm going to take away from this is that this receiving core is starting to shape out with Rashee Rice really establishing himself. You see Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney with 1 reception apiece. Sky Moore had 3 targets. Toney only had 1. Now, I know this was a very dysfunctional game, but Rashee Rice is the only guy I'm worried about having. It's clear. It's cutting clear to me that Kelsey and Rice are the top 2 receiving options in that offense.
Yep.
I really like Rashee Rice, especially the opponent they have next week is very favorable. Forgive me. It is Miami. Miami's defense is actually one of the worst in the league, statistically speaking, which is surprising.
Who do you think you're going to go? They did just get Jalen Ramsey back, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting to say the least. I think it's very interesting. Did you see what Mike McDaniel said about that?
What did he say?
He was like, I'm disappointed in Jalen Ramsey after he got the interception. He was like,
oh yeah.
Ramsey said he was gonna get a pick 6 when he came back, not a pick field
3.
goal.
Yeah, pick field goal.
That dude's a clown.
Yeah, he cringes me out a little bit, but that's all right. Travis Kelce is still a viable game, especially for the tight end position. 6 for 58. Rashi 4 for 56. No one else was relevant. Those 2 guys obviously led the team in targets. Kelce with 9. So I really like Rashi moving forward. As I said, especially against Miami next week. He's establishing himself as the number 1 receiver there. I think if they're gonna fix anything on that offense, they're just gonna, understand that they have to use him. They have to use Kelce. But the Chiefs have a game like this every year, and then we get all.
They do. They very do. Every year.
They have a stinker every year, and we're all like, "Oh my gosh, the AFC's wide open, and KC is no longer on top," and then they just go win the Super Bowl. But anyways, enough of that.
They'll be in the AFC Championship. I'd put my money on it.
Yeah, I'd put my money on it too. So the Broncos side of things, guys, Russell Wilson, he did have statistically speaking, he had a solid game, of course, with the 3 touchdowns, 30 rushing yards. It wasn't pretty though if you actually watch the film on it.
He's so annoying, bro. He's talking about cringe.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I gotta highlight this guy, dude. Javonte Williams. The guy is back, man. 27 carries for 85 yards, so not a great average, but I don't care about that. All I'm seeing is 27-4 with him and McLaughlin. And then Javonte also accounted for 3 receptions. So he beat McLaughlin in every single category possible, except for yards per carry. But I'm loving that for Javonte. He found pay dirt. I was telling y'all the last 2 weeks or so that he's a guy that is gonna come on. He's gonna do something, and he did it. So I'm really happy. He's a guy that I would not sell high on. I think he's gonna be very utilized in this Denver offense. They play. Where's the Bronco? It's funny. Whenever I try to find next week's, I swear I can't find it. Oh, they're on bye next. They're on bye next week, guys. That's why I can't find it. But yeah, he's not a guy I would look to sell high on. He's a guy that I was saying buy low on the last 2 weeks or so. You missed your shot now. I missed my shot. I didn't message the guy about it, but it is what it is. So the Broncos came out on top there. Somehow they have 3 wins. I can't even tell you who they beat. Well, they beat Green Bay. I know that. I don't know. I know they didn't beat Miami. Moving to a game that you and I predicted correctly. Cincy coming into San Fran.
Nice. Yeah, we
pounded that.
scrounged that one.
We'll start off with the losing team here,
I don't even know what that means.
just so we can really give the Bengals some love. But Brock Purdy, guys, a lot of yards, 2 picks though, some really questionable throws there. Also had 57 yards on the ground. So from a fantasy perspective, certainly had a solid day. McCaffrey, 2 touchdowns. Know what he does. 6 receptions, 7 targets, 12 carries.
Touchdown.
Double touchdown. So
Mm-hmm.
that touchdown in 17 straight games, season long.
How long do you think he goes?
I was literally gonna say the same thing to you. Like, is he gonna is he gonna complete the full season?
I think he will.
So obviously on bye next week. I
think he will.
I don't know that it ends like. I don't know.
I wonder what that thing's at now. Because if you were to put
the betting
500,000
thing.
on him last week,
Yeah, but
probably at
his
900.
odds were minus 220.
Yeah, but out of 500,000, what you're getting?
So you got to
25.
divide. It's what? So
Divided by like 2.
10 divided by 2.2. So you're getting
Four-
You're getting $4.50 for every $10 you put down.
Yeah, it's
so.
almost half. So you're getting you're almost at 900,000
So
right now.
No.
Yeah,
If you're getting half, you'd get like
half of 500K.
yeah. So
Okay, so you're at
you'd be at like 750, a little less, but yeah, you'd be at like 725 or 700, but yeah, still. You would have to stop betting at that point,
No.
right?
Keep digging for
That's
gold.
insane. bro.
Dude, if I was at 700K, I'd put down 100K on like a random parlay that was like nuts. That's just how I think.
I don't know. I'd probably just put it on a Christian McCaffrey touchdown. The most sure thing you can put it on, right?
Yeah, just keep betting 100K. That's all.
Receiving wise, guys, George Kittle, huge day from him. 9 for 149, led the team in targets. This is a very funneled passing attack. Brandon Ayuk has had a great season. He's been a really big play guy, like yards per catch, yards per route, that sort of thing. So 5 for 109, 9 targets. That's really the only 2 receivers to highlight here whatsoever. So big things out of them. Like to see Kittle get going. I'm not a big fan of Kittle from a fantasy perspective, but he's gotten it put together the last 2 weeks. So we'll have to see how he does coming off of the bye. The Bengals, on the other hand, Joe Burrow with a near perfect game. 28 for 32, 283 yards and 3 touchdowns with an 89 QBR. So a near perfect game. Obviously forgot to highlight San Fran added Chase Young, but sort of you guys got the message on that earlier. But Joe Burrow, near perfect game, as I said, only 4 incompletions, 3 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, we've been waiting for it, baby. 5 yards a carry, 87 yards, a touchdown, 3 receptions, 23 yards. I'm loving it. I've been waiting for Mix to get in the mix.
Yep.
I just love seeing Joe Mixon eat. I don't know why. He's just one of those players I like.
He's tough.
Just great to see.
He's tough.
Jamar Chase, an absolute monster, safe to say.
Yep.
Don't really need to highlight that. We know who he is, and he does what he does.
I think him and Burrow have the best connection. Because you're going back to college, the trust there is so strong. Well, actually, okay, Mahomes and Kelce is number 1, probably. But, I mean, it's top 3, undebatably.
Yeah.
Like, when you just think about their college career and then now in the NFL and,
I
what
agree.
it's been when they're both healthy.
Now, one that I
It's
do miss
unstoppable.
is Rodgers and Adams.
Yeah.
That was the best connection when that was happening. Clearly, that's not happening, but that connection was insane. Like those two guys knew exactly what each other were doing.
Yeah.
Like it's like every single step from Rodgers' drop back to every step in Devontae's routes. Like they knew exactly what each other were thinking. Like that was just insane to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Herbert and Keenan are great. Stephon and Josh Allen are great too.
It's just, dude, like.
Nah, but yeah, I would probably agree. It just like
Joe Burrow trusts him so much in the one-on-one balls. Like
Yeah.
he trusts him with everything.
Totally agree. So T. Higgins a bit of a bounce back. Had 6 targets. Second on the team, so that's good to see. 5 for 69. Hopefully he can really ramp things up.
Mm-hmm.
Get going to the T. Higgins that you and I both know and love. They do play Buffalo next week. Have Buffalo's number. Should be a high-scoring matchup in Cincy. So Sunday night game should be a high-scoring matchup. A lot of opportunities for these receivers. So I like T. Higgins season long moving forward. Tyler Boyd got the touchdown, but not much to write home about outside of that. So good things for the Bengals there brewing. We highlighted the tough schedule next week, starting off with the Bills. Well, starting off last week against the Niners, I guess, but you get the idea. You get what I'm saying here. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. Give me a second. And we're back. Sunday night game. The Chargers, baby.
Yeah.
Who got the dub?
Chargers did.
That's right. 30-13 against the Bears. Yeah, dominant fashion. No doubt about it. Herbert with also a near perfect game. 31 for 40, 298, and 3 touchdowns. Love to see it. Not much on the ground going, but Eckler did what he does in the receiving game.
Yep. Over 100 yards finally.
Keenan has cooled off slightly. Still 10 targets, 8 for 69. Do what you will with it. I don't really care. The guy's a beast. Certainly a guy that we told everyone about.
Yeah.
So hopefully you got him. But yeah, Eckler great. A Quentin Johnston sighting.
Yep, I predicted it.
Holy cow.
He was my sleeper, baby.
Holy cow.
Let's go. He's on the map now.
I mean, it's like a Josh Palmer injury and a Mike Williams injury, but it's happening.
It's going to happen.
It's happening.
It's going to happen.
Holy cow, dude. And a classic Donald Parham game.
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
Classic.
Yeah, I was just loving watching the Chargers play this week. And maybe it's just because it was the Bears that everything was clicking and working well. But, like, we were running drags. We were throwing the ball to Eckler. Like, this is how the Chargers offense runs. Like, short passing game. Make sure the ball's out of Herbert's hands.
Thanks.
And then you get the deep shots.
Yeah.
It's not every single play Herbert's going to make a 30-yard throw. Like, all you have to do is play show defense. Like, no. Run a drag like you used to with Phillip Rivers.
Facts.
Get Davis the ball on a drag. Get QJ the ball. They're talented.
QJ. That's such a tough name.
They're talented.
Yeah. So on the Bears side of things, Tyson Badgett, the magic's over. one week against the Raiders doesn't get you here in the NFL. 2 interceptions, but
gets you no love on this podcast.
Yeah, it gets you no love on this podcast. The game against the Raiders, I could go out there and sling a few balls.
Yeah.
Deontay Foreman, the magic ended there also. But they were trailing also, so that's obviously not favorable for a running back. But Cole Kmet is about the only highlight. 10 for 10 on targets, 79 yards. Be quick there. So that's about all that happened for the Bears. Final Monday night game. One that is near and dear to me. I came in here, guys, down 16 points. My opponent had Riley Patterson and Jacoby Myers. And you can bet your ass I had JoJo Gibbs and Sam Rocket Laporta.
Mm-hmm.
You're darn right I won.
Yep.
Started out seeing Riley Patterson with the 3 field goals. I was not happy, not having it, but
Jacoby Myers sold.
Jacoby Myers sold, and JoJo and Sam did not. So Jimmy Garoppolo is trash, and Josh Jacobs is the only bright spot on this team right now. Free Josh Jacobs, but that's clearly not happening now that the trade deadline's passed. Jacoby Myers, 1 target. Michael Mayer, 2 targets. Devontae Adams, 7 targets with 1 reception. So, guys, snatches.
Bro, I didn't know they wrote up reports for every single game.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say.
What'd they say about me? What'd they say about me?
Fenton Burles came back and took down the West football team.
This is the 4th most team that scored this
Laporta
season.
for 19.7, Gibbs for 29.9. Wow.
Anyways, guys. So, Carter, what's your opinion on, like, going for Devontae? Like, are you interested in trading for him? Like, personally and just in a general fantasy landscape perspective? Like, because personally, I'm not. This is pure dysfunction. Like,
yeah, I'm not.
You're setting yourself up for frustration.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Cup than him. I think.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I don't know, dude. Cup's pissing me off.
Yeah, but I don't know. It has not been
but
pretty.
I think Devontae Adams would be too. So it's like
lateral.
Who would I want? Like, I guess I'd put him at like wide receiver. I don't know, 15.
Who, Devontae?
That's the number that
Moving
comes
forward.
to my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. He's definitely not a wide receiver 1 right now. Like in that like.
Wide receiver 13 on the season, but like, I don't know. He's getting targets. It's just like, dude, Jimmy G is not going to support his, like, I see Jacoby Myers being more promising than Devontae Adams, honestly.
Really? What makes you say that?
Just the fact that he plays the slot.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Josh Jacobs is about the only hope to this offense right now.
Yeah, I don't know. As you can see, guys, I'm baffled. I have
Yeah.
no clue what to say about Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
we can move on to Lions here, the winning team. Jared Goff, not a spectacular night by any means. You know why? Because Jahmyr Gibbs was spectacular last night, baby. Drafted him in the 2nd round. Been waiting for this. Obviously, he kind of broke out last week, but a relief. Jahmyr Gibbs, 152 yards and a touchdown and 5 receptions for 37 yards. Amon-Ra doing what Amon-Ra does. Sort of the Evan Ingram of receivers right now. Just as consistent as it gets. Sam Laporta, 8 receptions, 57 yards, and a touchdown. The guy's a beast. The guy's an absolute animal. I gotta highlight Craig Reynolds though. Like, he didn't get a touchdown, but the dude ran very effectively. This Lions offensive line is we've highlighted this plenty of times. That's the strength of this team, regardless of how you want to look at it. Like, that offensive line is the strength. What else? Yeah, I don't know. What are Jameson Williams and Josh Reynolds droppable to you?
Jameson. I would drop Josh Reynolds. I'd probably keep Jameson Williams, but I'd rather go pick up. There's some good waiver wire pickups this week, like Taysom Hill, Trey McBride. I'd probably rather have than Jameson Williams, but I'd keep him just because he's still like a novelty, still kind of a big unknown.
Yeah,
and he did have a big play last week.
So, guys, one guy I want to highlight on defense, Alim McNeil. The guy's a monster. He's just a beast. He's a game wrecker. Playing nose tackle for the Lions. I love watching the guy. I just got to say that. Just got to add that in there. But, guys, that wraps up our Week 8 recap. Tomorrow we will be bringing you preview for the Titans and Steelers. A real barn burner there. And then, obviously, looking forward to Week 9.
Yeah.
So
I got some questions that I want to end this with because no one has joined as of yet. All right, so I guess first would be okay. I already made that waiver request. It's just. I have to win this week.
See you next
Now we are talking about my team again. Seeing as though I am 2-5.
2-6.
And for some reason, I think my team's good.
Well, okay, let's go through your team real quick.
Trey McBride and then Taysom Hill. I kind of like Taysom Hill, but yeah, I think with Zach Ertz on the IR, you got to go Trey McBride. I need a quarterback. But, like, all right, so we talked about how bad running backs have been. I have Austin Eckler and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel really comfortable with that.
And you have Kareem Hunt.
And I have Kareem Hunt.
And
I have
Mostert.
Raheem Mostert. So, I got some lineup questions. But then, wide receiver Cooper Kupp, Chris Olave, both have been underperforming, especially these last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Waller has been an absolute miss. I wish I never drafted him. I could have gotten Hawkinson. For some reason, went Waller, dude. I'm absolutely blown about that. I got Tyler Lockett in right now,
Or
but
Laporta.
what do? I kind of want to play Kareem Hunt against Arizona. Tyler Lockett's going up against Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore's got a good defense.
Yeah. Raheem Mostert against Kansas City. I'm not sure if Miami's an actual good team, so I kind of like hesitate to play him.
What are the Chiefs allowing? Give up the 9th most points to running backs.
9th most. Okay, so maybe I do play just Mostert.
You gotta think that's gonna be a barn burner. I don't mind that play over Lockett.
Okay.
But also, Hunt against
Arizona.
It's a prime matchup, bro.
Super. Yeah, like I want to play that really
that's
bad.
juicy. So doesn't it kind of amaze you, just like side tangent, doesn't it kind of amaze you that like Kareem Hunt was a free agent? Like, I don't get that. Because obviously you can sign the guy for cheap. And it's like, how's he a free agent? And, like, because he's coming and been so effective. It's like,
Yeah.
do these other teams feel dumb or like what, you know? Like,
Do you think
don't get
Hunt's the clear alpha there?
I do. I mean, we can go back and review the numbers again. But I would say yes. I mean, he's taken over, clearly.
I mean, 16, 15, 13 since he's been back. I think I had to play him against Arizona.
Yeah, he's been double digits every single week. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, he's scored touchdowns every single week, which
But you expect that from
But he
the
plays-
Browns.
yeah, he plays Arizona also.
I
Yeah,
gotta
and
play.
that's exactly what it would be if Nick Chubb was playing. You know,
Right.
that's what keeps Nick Chubb relevant because he
Yeah.
doesn't. You know, his receiving's always the questionable thing about him.
I gotta play him.
But yeah, I mean, I like Hunt. He's seen double-digit carries. You know, the weeks that he's been in, the last 3 weeks. So let's do. I think you need to make a trade somehow.
That's what I'm thinking too. I gotta trade up though.
Yes, no, you need to make a trade up. I agree.
Like Kupp and Hunt for like
Yeah.
Tyreek or something. I don't know. Kupp and Mostert.
Let's see my team.
I don't want to trade Kupp though if I can keep him. Like
It's on my waivers.
the thing is, everyone on my team's underperforming. Oh my gosh. I just have a lot of underperforming players. That's the
Yeah.
really disappointing thing.
Bro, I need a little help. I got a lot of players on bye. I got Jameer on bye. I got Ayuk on bye. I got Sutton on bye. Not that Sutton really matters, but Laporte on bye. So, I got Rashid in there right now
Okay.
because I got Derek Carr. The Bears give up the 4th most points to quarterbacks. Obviously, I'm starting Kamara. I have to start Najee.
Okay. Against Tennessee.
Tennessee somehow gives up the 8th most points to running backs.
Because Zach mossed on him,
That's true.
I guess.
That's true. Obviously, I'm starting Nico. I'm starting Rashi. If London... So, Puka's questionable right now, so I'm kind of just waiting on that. And kind of the Stafford situation.
Mm-hmm.
And London's questionable against Minnesota.
Something tells me Stafford's going to play, dude. He's tough.
He is. It is his throwing hand, though.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
definitely.
But Drake London plays Minnesota, who gives up the 5th most points to receivers. And Heineke might be. If Heineke plays, bro,
Mm-hmm.
if he's starting, I might have to play Drake London.
I mean, Drake London as opposed to who? Puka? If he plays?
Well, I mean, those are the 3 receivers I have in right now. So I'd
Nico.
probably play him over
Rashid.
Rashid. It's just hard to bet on Rashid 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I'd go with Drake. Man.
But playing Chicago, that's just very enticing.
I'd probably just stick with.
Or just put Puka in and call it a day.
Yeah, put Puka in, call it a day, and then if he doesn't play, like.
Can I just play 4 receivers and not play Najee? Please. Yeah, so that's my only dilemma.
I'll give you a trade, bro. I'll give you a. Who do you need a
For
running back
what?
this week?
No.
I'll give you Kareem Hunt.
For what? Give me like
Justin Fields.
no. You don't even. He's not even playing this week.
I want him.
But I want him. Chill. What's the schedule look like? So Justin Fields plays New Orleans, Carolina, Detroit, Minnesota, Detroit, Cleveland, Arizona, Atlanta.
Oh, that's tough.
That is tough, but I don't know. Kind of. I don't know. I have Derek Carr. Give me C.J. Stroud
For Fields?
and something else. No.
Fields
I'm not doing anything. I'm
Fields
6
and
and
Camaro.
2. I'm 6 and 2. I don't need to do anything with my team.
Don't get complacent. That's complacency killed the cat.
Oh my gosh. Complacency killed the cat.
Yeah.
Alright. No, my lineup's set.
That's what happened when it happened.
I'm good.
It
That's
was
what
complacency.
actually happened, guys. It was complacency, not curiosity, which are like the 2 opposite things.
Mm.
I'm good.
Okay, guys. I think this is about the end. Do I sit Mostert, though?
He's hard to sit, in my opinion. I feel like you got to play him with as long as Achan's out. I feel like you have to play him.
But I have Bareem against Arizona.
But I have Bareem.
Against Arizona, like.
That's a tough one. You got to make a trade, man.
Yeah, I gotta make something happen.
Trade Olave and Mostert for like.
Like I have market.
Hold on.
I don't. I feel like I have good, like everything I need. Everything I need is here. It's hard to, like I have good depth where I need it.
Silence. I'm gonna find a trade for you.
Alright, do it.
Alright, do it.
Do a little
All right.
something.
Chris Olave
Mhm.
and Mostert.
Okay.
Jordan Addison is wide receiver 11?
Yeah, dude, he's leading wide receivers in touchdowns right now. Or tied with Tyreek.
He's one behind Tyreek. Tyreek has 8. Shoot, dude. Mostert and Olave for like ARSB.
Dude, I was thinking, what if I could get Amon Ra? Especially now that he's on a bye. Who has him?
Or like Brandon Ayuk.
I still have faith in Olave.
Or like Nico Collins. Or Puka Nakua.
I need a clear, like a
Puka?
stud. I don't want Puka and Cup.
Oh yeah, you do have Cup.
That'd be whack.
Damn it. Rats.
Like, there's very few players I feel like I could actually acquire right now. All right, I'm gonna end the thing and then we can keep.
Oh, Chandler.
What's up, Chandler?
What's up, bro? We were literally about to shut down. You're the first person that's commented tonight, bro.
Yeah.
Let us know if you got any lineup. We'll stay on here and BS for a little bit, but
Okay, so I'll just keep going. Like, I don't know how many players I could receive right now and actually slot them into my lineup.
rats.
It'd have to be someone better
Rats.
than Olave.
Oslabe?
Exactly. Like, I feel like he could be good.
Like if you traded for Michael Pittman, it's not like I got my guy.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, I just traded away Olave for Pittman. Like, it'd have to be like Diggs or.
Amon-Ra.
Okay, so.
Amon-Ra's on bye this week though.
Exactly.
Go
Because
for.
I would have no problem playing Marquise Brown in my flex or Tyler Lockett on my flex every week. That's not a problem for me.
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle. Okay.
Who has Waddle in our league?
It's Matthews.
Bro, why is like 60% of our league 4-4?
I don't know. Everyone drafts basically the same, I feel like. I guess I don't know. I really don't know.
Everyone just has like infinite receivers, I feel like.
Yeah. The fantasy's just been weird this year, dude. Something's whack. Something's not right.
Facts. Chandler, if you got any waiver wire comments about this past week, I want to know if you won or not. I know you got studs in your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know. I'm pretty sure you got Laporta's. Maybe. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on it.
This is interesting.
What?
Cleve Raymond, 3.
I saw that. I was like, what? Since when?
Send Mostert and Olave for Adams. He should get hot down the stretch.
For Adams? Ooh, that'd be all eggs in one basket, buddy.
Oh my god, I'd be really going down with the shit.
Dude, if you could say you had JT, Cup, Eckler, Adams,
and still didn't make the playoffs.
bro, that'd be the most insane thing to say. If you had all 4 of those players and able to say you didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I could just say I got a house.
Bro, they need to play Aiden O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they do. I feel like I don't know. Jimmy G's kind of.
Jimmy G's hot trash.
All
He's
right.
hot garbage.
I'm gonna send it. I'll send it. I'll do Olave and Mostert.
You're gonna do it right now?
I'll do Olave and Mostert.
Do it on the live. Do it right now.
All right.
Are you actually
For Devontae Adams.
for Dos Schmonte?
I'm rolling with Chandler here, bro. I need some help, and you're giving it to me, so. Olave. Just not cutting it, bro. Michael Thomas has been too OP. Yes, sir. I won 5-3. Killed by bye week. Have Kittle, ETN, Debo, Ridley. Do I actually do that? He's got the Giants this week.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's go, Chandler. 5-3. He's got the Giants this week. That's a good thing.
8-4.
What's the schedule look like?
Giants, Jets, Miami, KC, bye. Minnesota, Los Angeles.
Hey, if there's any matchups you could hope for in the playoffs, if you make it, dude, it's Minnesota and Chargers.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it'd be the Chargers, KC, and
KC.
Indy. If you make it to the championship, Carter, you'd have the most prime matchup. What Chandler said something about his result this week.
He's 5-3.
Killed by buys this week. Have Kittle, ETN, Debo, and Ridley. Chandler right there with you, bro. I got Laporta, Gibbs, and Ayuk. So I feel you, bro. It's not fun, especially having your tight end on bye. I saw Laporta was on bye. I was like, you mean Laporta has a bye? I was like, you mean I have to sit this guy? Yeah, bro. So I feel you there. ETN, Debo, you're kind of used to it right now. But yeah, ETN, Ridley, Kittle, that's tough.
Dude, they should trade Devontae Adams.
Well, funny because the trade deadline was over at 4.
It was over at 4.
So he's stuck. He's stuck.
Okay. I guess. So do I send that trade? Genuinely? Like, is that an actual upgrade? Is Devontae Adams better than Chris Olave?
Chris Olave?
Like, Jacoby Myers is better than Michael Thomas.
Chris Olave? Yeah, of course.
No, Jacoby Myers. Like, in terms of, like, taken away from them being, like, I want an alpha, you know?
Well.
Like, do I just trade for Justin Jefferson at this point? Chris Olave for Justin Jefferson and hope he comes back? Except they don't have Kirk Cousins. Shoot. I'm just talking to myself. Going through the options, man. I don't know. Sorry, Chandler, that you had to watch this.
I was wide open. Bro, I saw that. I was like, yo. He nuked his helmet. Facts, bro. I saw that pass. I was like, bro, he was wide open.
Okay, you know what? I'm doing it. I need to change something. Olave has been bad vibes on my team.
Somebody do something. Wait, trade me Olave for Justin Fields.
Olave for Fields? But I need.
I'll give you Fields. I'll give you a receiver. I have plenty of receivers.
Fields. Who else?
Because I have Puka. My top 4 receivers would be Puka, Nico, Ayuk, and Rashi. Am I forgetting someone? Give me a second. Hold on. I actually have a lot in another league too. And Drake London. I don't know who you think is better between London and Rice. Just go for Devontae. I'm sitting here shaking a stick at it.
Alright. I'm going to do it. Chandler. I'm going to do it. Mostert.
Chandler's... the tables have turned. Chandler's the guy with the podcast. This is killing you.
Okay, I mean...
Oh, 1 point.
Really, Olave? He's got Chicago this
Okay,
week, though,
okay.
which I
But
have
what's-
to take advantage
Bro,
of.
he
I
has
need
Chicago
wins,
and
yeah.
Minnesota the next 2 weeks.
I have to get wins, so I had to play the schedules.
Hold on. Okay, what's the rest of his? What's the rest of his schedule?
Atlanta, Detroit, Carolina, Giants, Rams.
Atlanta, Detroit, Carolina's kind of rough. But he does have a pretty fair.
I don't care. I will take him this week and then trade him after this week. Like, I don't care. Because I'm not
like
going
you kind of should wait for him to.
I have to. How I had to play this is literally trade away my players that have buys. So, like, I'm going to wait until he goes off this week and trade him.
If I
Because
win,
then there's a buy coming up.
if I win, I'll be 7-2.
I trade for Almon Ra.
I can afford a player with a bye.
But who?
For
Who's better than Slav?
Cortland Sutton.
Oh.
I'm the perfect guy for you.
Hey.
Random
what's up,
kid.
what's
You
up,
guys are
guys?
coming in.
Saw my bench go stupid while Adam and Cubs and Mahomes busted.
Oh.
All the Cub owners are with me, and we all hate Cub.
Oh.
All my homies hate Cooper Cup right now. Man, that's
Adams, Cup, and
And
Mahomes. Oh.
my team busted too. Send it.
That's brutal,
I said
man.
send it. I can't right now. I can't because Chicago is too prime of a matchup.
He's shaking in his boots, Chandler. Yeah, you're telling me I got Derek Carr and Kamara, baby.
Yeah, watch Kamara just get like 12 receptions again.
Who?
Moderate stat line and strong win. Like, I don't like that headline. 1 touchdown this season.
He's got to snap against Chicago.
It's got to be a get right game, right?
He's gonna do it.
Like 19, 14, 18, 1, 9, 16, 12, 9. He's got to have like a 20 somewhere in his.
A 20 ball. Show me. Chris Olave.
Like, if it does not happen this week, I am.
All I
I'm
gotta
done.
say,
I'm
guys.
literally done.
All I gotta say is Sam Laporta. I'll trade you Sam Laporta for Chris Olave.
Next week?
Psych. You ain't getting your hands on Laporta. You had 15 rounds to get your hand on
Chase.
Laporta.
Oh.
No, you know Matthews is in love with Chase.
Bro, if I trade him Olave and JT, He might do it. Eckler and my goat Laporta and Brees carried my team hard.
Lost by 2 points? No way. Random kid, send who was on your bench, bro. That's tragic.
Yeah. Should I'm gonna go after Chase, bro. JT.
Because aren't his running backs crap?
Yeah. I was talking to him today. I mean, he has James Conner and
James Cook.
Achan.
He does it.
He's like, I just gotta wait for Achan to come back and then I'll be good. But
Oh, Richard Birdhouse.
maybe I just go for Calvin Ridley.
Yes.
Claire Alpha.
CD would have been nice before this week.
Mm-hmm. I like the Jalen Waddle idea. Do like Mostert and Olave for Waddle and like Damian.
Yeah, but he
Pierce.
wouldn't want Mostert
I
if he
know.
has Achan.
Well, just for the time being, maybe.
Yeah, but then you got to play one or the other.
True. So like Hunt.
It's not enticing at all.
Hunt.
Hunt and Olave?
Olave for Waddle and Pierce. Just say screw it and take the hit.
I
on
like
Pierce.
going for Waddle.
I do too. I do too. And but they have their bye in week 10, so I can't do it. Because I'm just gonna want to get him off my team again.
Things are getting rough, boys.
It's must-win territory for the kid. Devontae Smith, Rashid. Oh, he's at Burrow too. Start with Mostert, then go to JT.
Just a random kid. I did get the W, but oh, you said Devontae?
Set Devontae Smith, Rashid Shaheed, Burrow, and Chris Godwin.
Crazy points. Monty's out and Schultz didn't do good. Yeah, the whole Texans team didn't do good. Dang, bro. Yeah, Rashid snapped this week. I think he's gonna have a good week in Chicago too, but I don't know if we recommended you to put other players over Devontae Smith, but Devontae was a must start for me this past week.
Still, like, yeah, I do too. But here's the thing. All right, I'll give you my whole situation. You know my team's good. It's not like I'm a terrible fantasy player this year.
Yeah.
I'll do my research. I like to think I know a thing or two. My team is very good, Chandler. I need wins. My team is 2-5. So it's dire straits, Chandler.
It is. It's do or die.
So the reason I'm not going to do this trade right now is because Olave against Chicago is a matchup I need. And Adams plays. Who's Adams play, actually?
This week, I don't know. It's a team that's better than his team.
Let's check out West's team. He's always got some Raiders.
If you can find it.
They play the Giants.
Really want to trade him if Jimmy G's betting on every opponent he plays. It's so embarrassing. Yeah, Jimmy G's pretty awful. I mean, Detroit's defense is good. Like, I don't know. I would personally want nothing to do with the Raiders player. That's just my outlook. I just don't like players on bad teams, regardless of how good they are.
Yeah, that's a good point. Dude could go for 30 plus. I like to think this is a get right game for Olave though. You know? A good classic get right
Who
game.
do you play this week? Miles?
Miles, yeah. I should be fine this week. Like,
Wait, go to Miles' team.
if I lose this week, I am absolutely screwed.
Go to your matchup.
He's got Evan Ingram and Calvin Ridley on bye.
So who's he going to look at his bench?
So he's gonna play like Odell, and he's gonna go off for 90, and like Zeke probably, or I don't know. He'll pick up one of the tight ends, whichever tight end I don't get.
And me. Since I have the worst waiver priority, so.
Yeah, Miles is gonna get probably Hill, cause I'm gonna get McBride. But dude, like Jalen Hurts, DeAndre Swift against Dallas, I feel pretty good about that. Although last time they played, it was super high scoring.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson against New England, I feel good about that. Chris Godwin against Houston, feel pretty good about that. Watson against the Rams, don't know how I feel about that. See Cooper Kupp, bro. If Stafford doesn't play this week, I might just like if he's not gonna play going into this week, I might trade Cooper Kupp because he's gonna have a bye in week 10.
I don't mind that. Whew. All right, bro.
Should have had a get right game. Yeah, I mean you're right.
I'm
If
probably
it
gonna
doesn't
roll
happen
out of
against
here.
Chicago, I'm all out on 11. All right, you're out.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock, so I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Chandler, I'm going to stay up to date. Tomorrow we're going to be streaming, so we'll talk a little bit more about this trade thing we got going on if I end up doing it.
Appreciate you guys showing up.
Yeah, thank you guys, as always.
But if you guys want any information for last week, just,
Rewind.
video will be out there, but we'll be doing our preview for Thursday night, tomorrow night, and also
Game picks
moving forward to next week, tomorrow night. So hopefully see y'all tomorrow night. A few other people join, hopefully. Tell your league mates. Maybe don't tell them. That's up to you. Like, I don't know what I can even get for Adams right now. Monty Adams.
Yeah, fellas, what time y'all going? What time?
Probably starting 9.
Around
again?
9-ish.
9-ish East Coast time, so whatever time that is.
Yeah.
Yep. But see y'all guys tomorrow night. Answer some more trade questions and stuff when we got a little more time.
Yep.
But appreciate you guys being out here. Again, see you tomorrow night.
Peace.